Dr. Francis Murphy has been practicing chiropractic work in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for 30 years. He now focuses on helping children, and he's here today to explain why chiropractic care can help kids, but also change the quality of life for people of all ages. And this is very interesting to me. And let's first talk about the adults, though. Okay.
I've only been a chiropractor for 20 years.
Oh, well, I just wanted
thank you.
We didn't have to say that, but honest man, there you go. Well, still a very long time.
Yes,
it's
been quite a while.
Great in this field. Tell us, your work with adults first, and I definitely want to get into talking about how you've helped children out too, because that's very, very interesting, and why you decided to focus on that. But I know something you've worked hard on is the frozen shoulder syndrome.
Yes.
What is this?
Well, for a long time, over 200 years, frozen shoulder was in the literature as a puzzling, unknown circumstance that happens to people between the age of 40 and 70. And 3 to 4% of the population will get it. It's a huge demographic. Worldwide, it's 90 million people. And so it is misunderstood. People used to get injections and have surgeries where the arm was forced to be raised. And so about 5 years ago, I came across an anomaly that is demonstratable in an X-ray that shows how the skull can become misaligned in a very specific way with the cervical spine. And when that particular malfunction is corrected, it miraculously fixes frozen shoulder syndrome almost instantly. And there's a lot of pain and other symptoms that go with frozen shoulder, like sleeplessness and
what's the symptoms of that? Is it like you really can't?
Well, a frozen shoulder person cannot bring their arm usually past 90 degrees, sometimes up to 120, but that's about it. They can't raise their arm behind their back, and they can't internally and externally rotate their arm.
And they also feel pain.
Oh, a lot of pain, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
It's so interesting. So you found a way to basically,
yeah,
it cures it, does it? Does it go away completely?
It was thought to be a problem with the shoulder, and it's a problem with the central nervous system, with the brainstem.
Well, very interesting to know, especially if maybe you're having symptoms like that. Now let's switch gears into why you decided to focus on children and children's chiropractic work.
Yeah, well, I made this discovery about 6 years ago. And I began to see lots of frozen shoulders from all over the world. And what I noticed in doing the neurological exam was that they had other symptoms, other neurological symptoms like breathing and speaking problems, gagging, loss of smell, taste, problems with their eyes, facial twitches, things like that. And those problems were also going away with the treatment for the frozen shoulder. So I began to transition into seeing people with these other disorders that didn't have frozen shoulder, and it was helping a lot of people like that. So it ended up becoming more of a study of the brainstem than it was of the shoulder. And lo and behold, I have a lot of children that come to my practice anyway, and I was beginning to look at them a little differently, because you can see, if you look at a child, you could see if they have a head tilt, if their mechanics, if their posture and things like that are off, just like you can an adult. And so what I noticed, that children that had some developmental problems, were slow speakers or didn't crawl, had a lot of ear problems, also had this same disorder of the head not being quite right on the spine.
That's so interesting.
It's very interesting, because I believe a lot of it's happening at birth, or the birthing trauma, or the birthing method, because it's tough. Sometimes at the moment of birth, things get tough, and it's a struggle to have that moment come out just the way you want it to. And so children end up having some kind of neck disability that can lead to neurological malfunction. And as quickly as it fixes a frozen shoulder, it turns children around. And this is why I was able to transition from seeing mostly frozen shoulders to seeing mostly children, because of the dramatic effect it has on them almost instantly.
So, I mean, this has helped with things like breastfeeding and what other sort of...
Well, they cry. Well, little babies cry a lot, but the majority of the children I see are more developed. They're 2 to 5 years old. This is where the parent has really gotten a grip on where the disability is, where the developmental disability is. Is it in learning? Is it in movement? Are they clumsy? Are they have problems with balance and things like this. A lot of the children have never crawled and are slow speakers. They speak later. They speak slower and they speak later on as they become more developed. And this is a signal, a sign that this child may have this disorder. And if they do, they may be helped very quickly.
This is very interesting information, especially, you know, for us parents to maybe be aware of these type of things and that it could all lead to the spine and chiropractic care. So Dr. Murphy, thank you for joining us this morning.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
And to learn more about Dr. Murphy or Children's Chiropractics, visit his website, tomorrowsgeniuses.com.